I can finally share with you guys a secret I've been keeping under wraps for a couple of weeks now. The BT50 has finally been upgraded to a full tray and canopy setup. Good morning guys, welcome back to another video. So I have been keeping probably the biggest secret under wraps for the last couple of weeks, which I can finally share with you guys. If my backdrop did not give it away, the BT50 has finally had an upgrade to a tray and canopy setup, and I am so excited to take you guys through this. But not only that, just to get on the road and actually utilize this system is going to be incredible for the rest of our travels. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a full run through of the tray and canopy setup. I literally picked this up yesterday, so even I haven't had a proper chance to even put any of my belongings in here. So we'll go through this all together. But the team that I have gone through for this install is XTS on the Sunshine Coast. I could not recommend them highly enough. Like, the product is just the best quality and it just looks incredible as well. My BT is definitely looking very tough right now, but John, one of the owners, I was lucky enough to meet him when I was passing through New South Wales. So he also owns a BT50, which was great because it meant that I could just sort of figure out what I wanted, make sure it aligned with exactly the actual setup that I wanted to achieve in the long run. And it was just the perfect fit. So definitely keen to be able to utilize all of this setup, but let's get into it and I'll show you guys all of the key features that I've had added on. So we'll kick it off by going through the outside of the tray and canopy first. So I've actually gone with an 1800 tray and a 1600 canopy. This is actually a jack off canopy, which I may or may not use that feature, but I think it's super handy to have. Now I've gone with the powder coated exterior, and this is also linked up through my central locking system as well. So I don't have to remember to lock the canopy in addition to the car. It is all just linked up in the one system. So behind the headboard here, I've had the addition of a 50-litre water tank installed, which is going to be so handy, especially as I go out to more of those remote locations as well. And the water inlet as well as the fuel inlet is all located on this passenger side. Now, one feature I'm absolutely loving is that with most tray and canopies, you'll always have these storage systems on either side of the tray. The thing that's a little bit different about the XTS ones, which comes stock standard with all of their tray and canopies, is that theirs is actually a slide out drawer, which for me, I think this is so much more handy because you don't have to kneel on the ground to get things out with that lift up system. You just slide the drawer out, pop in what you need, and then you are pretty much good to go. So then we come around to the back of the BT, and I've gone with the enclosed jerry can holder. So this is going to be great for carrying some spare fuel or just additional water. I've got the rear ladder installed, which I am so excited to not have to pull out a ladder and set that up every single time I'm setting up for camp. And then I've got the spare wheel holder as well. One of my favorite features at the back end of the car is we've got this little trundle drawer at the back here. So this is nice and hidden, and then we just have to unlock this, and then this slides out, which is going to be absolutely incredible just for basic setup on a day-to-day basis. Now, XTS have literally thought of everything. So right now it's actually a perfect example because I'm parked on a little bit of a lean here. So when we pull this drawer out, naturally it's just going to want to go back in. So when we lift up the cover, I have got this little lever to the side here where I pull that out and I can lock the drawer into place, and that way, regardless of how I'm parked up, this is going to stay exactly where it is. So I just think that it's the little details like that that make all the difference. This is going to be the perfect spot just to be able to cook on and just have an overall just easy setup when I'm camped up as well. So last few features of the rear of the BT is we've got our blind spot sensors. They have all been repositioned onto the new tray and canopy setup. And then I've also got my reverse camera all mounted as well, so I can still utilize all of those features. So coming over to the driver's side, we've got that same slide out drawer system I mentioned over on the passenger side. Behind our headboard, to accommodate our water, we've got this 12-volt switch here. So we switch that on, and then we've got instant access to the water as well. So we can just hook up a hose and utilize that when needed. needed. So last few items I'll go through before we go through the actual fit out of the canopy. So I've added on a roof platform onto the BT. This is going to be really good just to mount my recovery boards, but also additional storage as well. And the brand I've gone with is Landrack. So this is their summit platform. They're based on the Gold Coast, and I just like that it's a little bit different than like your generic roof platforms that you can get. It just looks super sleek, and I feel like it blends in really nicely with the canopy as well. Now on the canopy itself, I've swapped out my rooftop tent and my awning. So these are the XTS branded ones. It's great because you can literally go to XTS and they can do everything for you. The rooftop tent and the awning are both that sort of blacked out look, which I don't know if you guys have picked up on that. It's sort of the vibe I'm going for. And they have also added on a 200-watt solar panel on the rooftop tent, and that is all wired in. So I've got the 12-volt system in the rooftop tent as well. Now over on the driver's side, I've added on an Outback Tourer shower tent. This one's even better than my last one because it actually has lighting, which I think is always needed, especially when, you know, you're having a little bit of a shower or getting changed later at night as well. But let's get into the canopy because I feel like this is where some of like the biggest highlights of the fit out have been. I keep getting so distracted by these horses. They are so freaking cute. Probably a terrible place to film because all I want to do is pat them, but we're going to stay on track. So from here, I'm going to take you guys through the actual canopy fit out. There is a fair bit to go through here. I have made some pretty big changes to my 12-volt system as well. So I might save that till last and just explain what I've done with that, what I've added and all the rest. Now we've naturally got a cooking side or a kitchen side, and then the other side is our living space. Now, first and foremost, I'm so excited to have a fully functioning kitchen, or, you know, as best as you can have living on the road. So first of all, we've gone with the Bushman's 85-litre fridge, and this is accompanied by XTS's fridge cage as well. So definitely keen to have an upright fridge to utilize. Now, right next to the fridge, we've got our pantry, which this one is huge. I'm so excited to be able to utilize all of this space, and this all locks into place as well. And then right next to our pantry, we've got this additional pull-out drawer system, which is going to be perfect for things like plates and bowls and fry pans. Underneath, you've got this additional bench space as well. Now we've got a fair bit of void space at the top here, which I personally prefer because I'm gonna figure out a way that I can store things like my coffee frother, as well as like a blender, things like that, just have them sort of out. Obviously, I've got to figure out how to ensure that they don't move anywhere. So once again, if you guys have any suggestions. And then down the side, there's actually a good amount of space that I can probably store some additional items, maybe like a table, all the rest of that there as well. So as far as our living space goes, I've actually decided to keep this completely bare for the time being. And the reason for that is I don't really know what kind of setup that I will want and what will suit my needs. So yeah, we're gonna keep it completely bare for now, live in it, sort of figure out what I actually do need. XTS do have a drawer system that they have that fit this space perfectly, but what do you guys think? Like, I feel like I need to do a little bit of searching on what type of setups other people have, but if you guys have any suggestions, definitely let me know. So the last part of the fit out I'll go through is the 12-volt system. Now, this was probably one of the hardest things I had to make a decision on throughout this entire process, and that is purely because, if you guys recall, I had custom lithium install my 12-volt system behind the rear seats of the BT when I first bought it, and that system was incredible. It worked so well, could not fault it. I genuinely thought when I had that system installed that that would work for a train canopy, and it would, don't get me wrong, but it made a lot more sense to actually move everything into the train canopy for a lot of different reasons, mostly just like usability, but that's exactly what I've done. So I've gone with the Dometic EnerDrive Traveler system. Now this is great because I still have the 200 amp hour battery, I still have my 2000 watt inverter, it's just all easy to access here. Now the Traveler does come with our slimline battery monitor, so that's super easy for me to track battery usage. It also has my water usage on there as well. And I also did consider upgrading my battery for more power, but instead this system actually comes with both the DC and the AC charging options, which means that not only can I get charge from solar and of course the alternator input, I can now plug this into mains power as well. So that's just going to be so helpful to be able to just keep charge if I am running low at certain occasions. But that wraps up the entire walkthrough of our new tray and canopy setup, which I am so excited for. I just cannot wait to get all my stuff in here and get on the road and just use it. But that also leads into my next big announcement as well. So if you guys are based around Gold Coast or Brisbane, please come and say hello to me because I will be attending not only the Gold Coast Caravan and 4x4 show with XTS this weekend, but also the Brisbane 4x4 show in March. So if you guys have the ability to come by and say hello, I will be at both shows the Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, definitely keen to see a few of your faces, especially with all of the support everyone has given me throughout this journey of being on YouTube. So up until now, I literally would not be here without you guys. So thank you so much. And for those who cannot attend, I will see you guys all in the next video.